The ousted local government chairman and their council executives decided to come back to office today. So they decided to force themselves into office, banking on a court order, a Supreme Court order purportedly delivered in Ekiti State. And they came this morning after giving the state government 7 days notice to reinstate them. So they decided to go by themselves to take over. And police, we have a responsibility to protect lives and property and ensure law and order. So we had to ensure that there is no breakdown of law and order. So we had to post our men there to make sure that both parties, in the course of taking over or resisting takeover, does not degenerate to a crisis situation. So that is what happened, and it happened simultaneously in the 27 local government councils in Imo State. So, and in some areas, I think in about 2 local governments, especially in Oru East, they were able to gain access into the local government council and took over offices. Apart from that, we don't have any records of such in other places. Aside the fact that they were at the gates, they met police officers and we were able to tell them to allow the protocol run, because one thing is getting a judgment and another thing is execution. Now the ethic is when there is a judgment, the judgment is served on the parties involved. Now after the service, then there will be execution. And the execution is the responsibility of the court. And in any case, if the court feel insecure, because they have to do it through the court bailiff. So if they feel there is some level of insecurity in that area as to the life of the bailiff will be threatened, they will now ask for the assistance of the security agencies, and we will now come. Now, police will come in, but will not execute the court order, but will give the bailiff the protection he or she demands in order to help him or her perform his lawful duty. In this case, it's not like that. We are not privy to any judgment as such. There is a judgment that has to do with the Ekiti State. It is unethical for you to take a judgment, to import a judgment in another matter and import it to your own matter, or importing a judgment in another state into a different state. It is not done anywhere in the world. There may be similarities in a case, but that does not depict that the similarities in such cases will mean the same judgment, because every case has its own nature, has its own technicality, and has its own peculiar nature. So, and it is treated as such. So there might be similarity, but it might not be the same judgment. And prayers as well may differ. So in other words, even if there is a judgment like they claim, which they have not been able to tender, even if there is anything of such, it is not the duty of any party in a matter to execute a court order. It is the duty of court to execute that court order, and then now at the end of it, now invite them in to take over. You cannot take laws into your hands and go to take over. It is not done anywhere. It is absolutely unethical, and we have warned them. After that, this morning, the CP summoned them to a meeting. They all came, and they have been warned, and they have been told to leave the premises of all the local governments and then if they have any genuine grievances, they should approach the courts. I can confirm to you that there are skirmishes here and there, but where we had some serious problems is at Isu local government, where, you know, in this kind of situation, the situation here is very complex. Because another judgment they are quoting is the judgment of 2012, when the former governor, Rochas Okorocha, sacked the LG chairman elected under the tenure of Ikedio Hakim. And they went to court and got a judgment then demanding, directing Rochas to reinstate them, which was not adhered to. They are now quoting that document as well as an authority. So, now in some areas, we have the local government chairman and councillors of 2012 coming now to lay claim to the councils. We also have these particular ones that are agitating coming to also lay claim to the same seat. And we also have the IMC, the present ones that are sitting, the IMC, Interim Management Committee of the local governments, holding sway. So we have 3 people laying claim to the same seat. We have that scenario in some local governments. But in all, where we have serious breach of public peace is Isu local government, where there were clashes between the APC supporters and the PDP supporters, and I think it led to, and there were gunshots, and 2 people were injured. While they were rushed to the hospital, one of them gave up. That is the only area where we recorded death. So the CP has ordered a full-scale investigation into the matter, and possible arrest of those involved in the shooting.